Hello and welcome to the Trampled Bat Podcast, episode 98. I'm Gary Black, and joining me this week, as always, is Chris Conroy.
Hiya.
And the return of John Walker.
Yes, I'm back.
The people's champion.
I'm back, and there's fucking techno going on next door. It's
13,
fantastic,
13
man.
For 13.
People can't hear this because it's so well soundproof, but there is really heavy techno going on next door, and it's fantastic.
When I was waiting you was recording at the front door, I was just kind of milling, and the guy approached me. Peter Techno, as he'll now be.
Peter's Peach.
Peter's Pipes.
Peter's Pipes.
Peter's Pipes.
Is he Dutch?
No, Kenny Van Flammick.
Can't believe you didn't know that.
So,
Been talking about cycling podcasts for ages.
and he just fucking shuts off.
Cause it's no Marvel.
So
all these fucking things that I always forget the name of. What are they?
Pop
Tops?
Funko Pops.
Fun Pops, they're called.
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. He wants to have the Wi-Fi, so you need to go and see Peter Techno.
We'll go on with the podcast and then we'll do that.
Then we'll see how we can individually rob Richard Branson of.
So we'll start this week. We've got 4 Patreon shout-outs.
4?
Shout out. What new?
What? Gary Welsh.
Oh, thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Who got in touch to ask how to do it in the first place. So if you do want to do it and you are struggling, do get in touch and we'll help you through it.
Gary, thank you for the continued support and the financial support. It means a lot.
A celebrity.
A celebrity?
Colin Ritchie.
Comedy Colin.
Colin,
we're so glad you're on board.
I was worried that he wasn't listening anymore because he's not been in touch for a while.
Comedy Colin. But I hope he gets a buzz out of the nickname that the comics have for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody does know him. And
The thing is, he's now
Colin.
he's a Richard Herring podcast celebrity. He gets shouted out on that all the time.
He deserves it.
So now that Richard Herring's his buddy, I thought he'd ditched us.
Do you know what? I remember doing it. I'd only been going maybe about a year. And Ciara Murphy was I don't know if she still gigs, but she was a comic in Edinburgh. And
Was she the Beehive? No.
I
did a couple of gigs, right.
And I'd gigged with Ciara a couple of times in the space of a week. And she came into the green room after having a look at the crowd going, I think I've got a bit of a fan. That's the second time this week, that guy. So I keep round the door going, nah.
Colin Ritchie single-handedly keeps the Scottish comedy circuit alive.
Do you know what? See any kind of award or internet certificate or anything, Colin Ritchie should be recognised.
Yeah, definitely.
So thanks, Colin. We really appreciate it.
The third one's Ian Taylor.
Ian Taylor.
A good buddy from
Hull.
Ian came up for one of the...
He did, he came up for the quiz.
Ian,
above and beyond.
Was it his brother he dragged up for the gig?
Imagine.
He brought somebody up, yeah, definitely.
And we did all give him a row for it and say, what are
you doing? Aye.
Thanks very much, Ian. We really appreciate it.
In his defence, we were never going to go and gig in Hull, so...
It's true.
I was looking at you there going, what is Gary going to say here? Going, I can't believe anybody would go to another town to watch something while sitting across from a guy that's done it 13 times in 2 weeks.
And the fourth one is Ewan Harrison upped his tier.
Ewan Harrison.
What?
No way.
Because he wanted to watch your tour videos.
Fuck.
The last tour video will be available February, March, April, May.
So thanks to you guys. Again, anybody that's been putting into our Patreon, we really appreciate it.
What a huge difference you're making. We had a wee bit of a break there. Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it. But we went away and, do you know what? See, doing it every week, you're finding going, I need to squeeze in a bit of life so that I've got something to talk about.
Yeah.
And
we do this time.
Aye, so we've been away doing stuff and maybe got a couple of stories for things that have happened.
Yeah. So, celebrity deaths this week. We've missed a couple of biggies while we were away. The first one is George Bush Sr.
Did his wife die recently?
She died years ago.
Did she?
Of shame. Imagine siren that
Wait,
fuckwit.
When I say years ago, I think it was a couple of years ago rather than 20 years ago. But
He looks and sounds like everything you imagine a bad guy would be in like a presidential movie. like where there would be a bad
That's because
guy.
they're all based on him.
Aye.
Christopher.
I'm doing it the wrong way round,
Yeah.
because I'm of an age where I didn't ever have him as president of the United States.
Head of the CIA in the 70s.
Mhm.
Was actually in town with his son when JFK was assassinated. A couple of years later, he was there on the day. To George
to check out a book.
George Bush Jr., two of them kicking about Dallas the day they shot the only ever Catholic president of Do you know what? They made Tony Blair convert to Church of England as well. I'm not highlighting all this Catholic stuff again. We've done that previously, right? But they did have one, and they shot him in the head.
So this is why George Bush's dad was never a manager at football in Scotland. Is that what we're saying?
So the two of them were in Dallas that day, and he was in the CIA at that point, but then rose to the top of the CIA, and then did he run with Ronald Reagan? Are they part of the same?
Yeah, I think he was the vice president for him. Yeah,
and then came in. But see, as a UK child, primary 4, George H. Bush came from nowhere to that top job. But it seemed when he was president, the president of the United States was something to be.
Yeah.
You know, they'd had the years of Reagan. You know, a B-part TV star that had went into it. Reagan actually was there a lot of the time. A lot of the positive things happened in the world, especially Eastern Europe, the Glasnost, the end of the Cold War. Getting into that, George H. Bush comes in, shoots down an Iranian passenger jet, and starts Gulf War I. So it was, it felt going, this feels like a real president.
Yeah, I had no interest in politics at all. Like, even in,
as a 3-year-old,
even into my 20s.
Right, okay.
And it was watching Bill Hicks' special in London. It was London he did one in, wasn't it? The one where he does all the JFK assassination stuff, and he goes on about John Major and George H. Bush.
Let's call him Senior.
George Bush Senior, and that was when I was going, what the fuck is he talking about?
Is he going on about John Major or Margaret Thatcher?
All of them.
John Major actually looks sensible when you hear him talking about Brexit.
Oh, because he only mentions John Major when he goes, did you guys sell weapons to the Iranians? He goes, we'll have to check Maggie's old calendar. And that was when I started going, what the fuck is he talking about? Because this is all funny. Right. And that was when I went down the rabbit hole of going, it's like the bit when he does the JFK bit when he goes, no fucking way. I'm like, I'm reading all this stuff on George Bush going, nah.
George Bush as well, it was his presidency that pushed through all the
Nancy, the parental lyrics advisory,
parental guidance in music.
Parental guidance, but what does the sticker say?
Parental advisory.
Who's it?
The court case. Is that what you're going to talk about? The 3 people.
Aye, and they just list a load of bands.
Aye.
No, who was the main band?
Public Enemy.
So they went to not a trial. What's the a hearing, a committee hearing,
like a Congress thing.
And they took Frank Zappa, who gave an amazing thing about why you could be offensive in music. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, the We're Not Gonna Take It, big blonde perm makeup, and John Denver. And John Denver gave a really impassioned talk about how you shouldn't shut down art. It should be free for anybody to express themselves however they want. They did it anyway. So. But that was all under that era.
But the list of people like Michael Jackson, like I'm going to get the list up.
Yeah. You can still get, like, if you look at the...
Was it Milo, the Scottish
DJ
act that did it all in a song? And it's just see the way Daft Punk and Soulwax both do a version of the song Teachers?
Yeah.
Like that, it's just the guy... we'll put this on the Patreon page, the Milo song.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
great.
some clips.
It's great.
But the Nancy Reagan... They were the ones with the whole... They started the war on drugs.
Yeah. And they were told at the time...
Drugs won, George.
The thing is, when they started, they were told exactly...
Noriega. Everything in Panama.
Is that Bill Hicks again?
This happened. It wasn't
but is that Bill Hicks bit again about the war on drugs?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you're telling me that people on drugs are not motivated, yet you're losing a war against them.
So I think the first time I became aware of George Bush was in one of his States of the Union. He said that he wanted America to be a lot more like the Waltons and a lot less like the Simpsons. And the whole of America just went, no, the Simpsons is a cool one. And they used the clip in the Simpsons on a really early season of the Simpsons, and they're watching it on TV and they're outraged. And it was the first ever use of meta. It wasn't. It obviously wasn't. I'm just saying that to try and be
Greek.
Right. So yeah.
So this was Nancy Reagan. So just before.
Tipper Gore as well.
I don't know who Tipper Gore is. Oh, is that?
This is the wife of Al Gore. Yeah.
Al Gore's wife. So early to mid-80s, this is what they're trying to do with censorship in music. The two Reagans, Gore, Tipper Gore. What's Tipper? Tipper, a shortened version of?
Don't know. It's Mary Elizabeth Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore. But this is the precursor for them then starting the war on drugs, and then the precursor for them starting the war on, do you know what, terrorism?
Yeah.
You know, it all stems for this kind of, right, how can we tell people what's bad for them and then create a sense of fear that they're going to come and get their children, that they're going to be attacked. This is the point where I really became aware of them going, they're just picking something and they're going to town on it. Have you got the list there?
I do, yes. So the 1985 they released what they called the Filthy 15, which is their list of the 15 songs that they found most objectionable. Right,
just give us the artists, because there'll be a lot of album tracks on there about wanking.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Prince.
Prince, Sheena Easton.
See, Sheena Easton is only there with her association to Prince.
You think so?
See if Sheena Easton had stuck to Bell's Hill and just ran about with Keith Chegwin, or like, she wouldn't get into the bother with the US government.
Judas Priest, Vanity, who I've never heard of.
Okay.
Motley Crue,
right.
AC/DC, Twisted Sister. We're Not Gonna Take It for Violence.
Right.
Madonna, Wasp, Def Leppard, Merciful Fate, who I've also never heard of.
Def Leppard?
Yep. High and Dry, Saturday Night, Drug and Alcohol Use. Black Sabbath, Mary Jane Girls, Venom, and Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper?
Mm-hmm.
Cyndi Lauper is coming for your children.
She-bop, sex, stroke, masturbation.
Judas Priest is the one that Bill Hicks talks about.
Yeah,
at length, because that was the one they were
claiming the law.
What was
breaking the law?
What was their claim? Was that they were sending messages if you played records backwards? That was the thing, wasn't it?
It is funny now if you listen to Judas Priest how light it sounds.
Yeah,
but it was like people couldn't believe that this band.
This is what their children were listening to. It is a very different time.
Guy does, I think it's Kyle Dunnigan.
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter, does a very good bit of stand-up on young people in the 50s listening to music at home.
Okay.
And try to tell their parents, tell them to turn that racket off.
Right.
And it's like putting on like proper jive music, and it's absolutely hilarious. Going, it's not like the old shit you used to listen to. This is real rock and roll. And just how it progresses, it's fucking so funny.
So one of the more prominent things towards the end of George Bush Sr.'s life was last October 2017. Where he was accused by 3+ women of sexual misconduct.
Is that 3 different women, or one that was
there was
the
3
size
plus
of 3 women?
No, it was 3 different women. One of which was under 16, and it was written off as a byproduct of his medication. So one of the.
Tell me it was Saddam's nephew that got him. What?
See if these guys really, really wanted to back up their arguments, they could just say he'd been listening to Judas Priest and taking drugs.
Yeah, they said one of the side effects of symptoms of the stuff you take for vascular Parkinson's makes you lose impulse control. Although it's not clear whether he was receiving that medication or not.
Yeah, but you're saying it removes the block against him, but your impulse shouldn't be to touch an under 16-year-old.
listen, see if George Bush Senior or Junior touched an under 16-year-old. It doesn't even make the list of the worst fucking things that they've done.
To under 16-year-olds.
Aye. Do you know what? That is the level of. And do you know how evil he is? His name's another word for a fanny, and nobody ever brings it up. See, if I worked with a guy, see if my name was Chris Bush, people would refer to me as Chris Fanny to my face instead of behind my back.
So the other celebrity death.
Hang on, George Rotten Hell.
The other one we have is Harry Leslie Smith,
who was a very nice man.
Is that the war veteran?
Yeah. So he served in the RAF.
Am I the only one that didn't know about him before this? Like I've seen all the videos now and been like, what a fucking lovely guy.
No, he was quite outspoken.
Right.
He sent he had lots of little social media.
But is it something that would have been easy to miss if you didn't know?
You would need to know where to look for it because
you would hide it.
A public speaker like that should be heard.
A war veteran who spoke out against the poppy at the end. Is that right?
Yeah, but he was very. I mean, the whole way through. I think it was really it was Iraq that sort of.
I think what the age that man lived to and the things that he's seen, I think the reason that he spoke out was he was just he could see the whole
I could
system,
see coming back round again.
The whole system in front of him. He had lived through tremendous poverty. He had lived through world wars, and I think he was just tired of the same things happening repeatedly.
Yeah,
and just wanted a fairer outcome for people living at the bottom of the ladder.
Do you never think that you do think back now and go, we don't have enough information from World War II or World War One to know that it wasn't the exact same as what's going on right now?
We do have enough information to know that it is.
I still think there's so much that you can go, aye, if everyone was as connected as they are now, it would be the exact same chat. Going, I don't get why we're fighting with Germany and Poland. Is this actually what's going on? What's actually happening over there? I just honestly think that it was just too easy to go.
Why are my Jewish family insisting they come to stay?
Like I honestly don't.
No, what you do, the same tactic that's been used again and again for the past couple of centuries, where media is available, is you dehumanise individuals by giving them a blanket term, like Jews, Muslims, gays,
Irish.
Yeah,
and you dehumanise them, and then it's much easier to go, oh, well, they're all just like that.
Here's the thing, as technology brings people closer together, the group of people that you have to be afraid of gets further away.
Right, okay.
So whereas it was easy to say, oh, the Germans are able to say, oh, it's those Poles next door. Now we have to go, well, it's those in the next continent. That's the threat. And then see later, it'll then be those Aussies.
Well, we can all agree on that.
The whole thing is they constantly they put there are more things that make us similar and alike than are that separate us. Like everybody's got the same battles in the morning. You get up, get dressed, go to work, get food, get money, be healthy. Everybody faces those battles, but what they do is the people that are going to gain from it divide.
Yeah, I've started to remove myself. I'm going to really talk about stuff like this on this now. It's like, see previously, if I'd ever heard anyone mention Tommy Robinson, or if I'd seen a tweet that somebody had retweeted that I knew, I would have argued. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not spending my time figuring out why somebody likes Tommy Robinson.
Well, I think we've talked before about how those people...
But a lot of what he says is right. You fucking idiot.
There's no point in arguing. There's a less point in arguing with those people than there is in pointing out those people's mistakes to people who are undecided.
Why Harry Leslie Smith is a loss is because he's somebody that's preaching compassion. Yeah. And empathy rather than preaching hate's the only thing.
I watched a really good documentary on YouTube by Vox. It sent a guide to the Colombian and Venezuelan border.
Okay.
society in Venezuela is effectively collapsed. They've got 1,000,000% inflation, and there's people in the border towns making woven bags out of their banknotes.
Right.
Because it's so devalued.
Aye.
You can just put 1,000 banknotes together into a bag, and it's more valuable as the bag.
Mm-hmm.
In the 80s, when Colombia had the big problem with the gang drugs,
Yeah,
drug gangs,
Medellin.
Ecuador let a lot of Colombians over the border and looked after them until that was all done and sent them back. And now it's going the other way about. The Colombian officials have opened the borders to Venezuelans.
Sorry, I'll get on to... There was another thing popped into my head there about I think I've seen 3 or 4 different Tories grinning while they open food banks this week.
Yeah.
Claire Perry.
Do you know why that is? Because they don't know how to deal with human beings. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, but every food bank that opens saves the government money.
Yeah, but they're also not human. Like, they literally... that same smile they've done is the same smile they had at their parents' funeral.
Who was the quote from... I've read it before and I read it again recently. There's only 2 types of Tories. There's millionaires and the misguided. If you want to know what kind of Tory supporter you are, look in your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
Yeah.
It's, if you're not a millionaire and you're voting Tory, then you... And I'm not saying vote Labour, vote SNP, vote Green, although Caroline Lucas has released some absolutely cracking statements over the past month. But to vote Tory because it's...
It must be aspirational.
This was an argument I get into with someone quite close to me about voting Tory, and it was like, you're exactly the type of person that should vote Tory because of earnings, and I'm going, yes, and I still don't.
Yeah,
that says everything about everything that they have underneath.
That's Evan Welsh's tweet that keeps getting retweeted. See if you're doing all right, vote for other people.
Aye.
Do you know
don't need an extra $2,000 tax free. Why do they keep raising the tax free? Is it just because they refuse to make corporations pay the right minimum wage?
The personal allowance.
Yeah, well, why did they raise it? It's went up like £1,200 tax free.
It seems like you're giving people a tax break when you're not. It's like it feels like you're being given something when you're not really.
Yeah, but is the purpose of that just to try and hide the fact that cost of living's going up while the wages aren't? And really they need to enforce the corporations to pay more money, but they're not doing it because they have to enforce a minimum wage.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that legally, they should be telling corporations.
So it's like giving poor people a tax cut, except the number of people that it really affects is so small.
Yeah, but my point is we all get it.
Yeah.
So see if you earn X amount, you probably shouldn't have the extra £900 tax free. I know it's nothing.
We live in a low tax, high consumption society where they want to tell you that we're charging you less in tax so that you consume more and you buy more.
Yeah, but then that's all tax as well.
Yeah, that extra money that you have, it's going to be spent. It's not.
Yes.
Saved, you know what I mean? So it works their way back round to them.
Was it Paula Abdul that said with Luther Vandross that the best things in life are free? Was it Paula Abdul?
Yeah.
And they were fucking right.
It was also, was it not, or was it Gloria Estefan that was danced with a cartoon cheetah?
Yeah.
All good points.
But Miami Sound Machine weren't wanting anything to do with that. Do you know what? It's brought us to this point where we're 3 weeks out for Christmas, and just make a point go and give your partner a hug, phone your pal, talk to your gran or whatever, because this is the time of year where people get right under pressure, thinking that the whole thing's going to be a disaster if they don't get that right gift for people. Don't dare get into any debt, or like people just want you around.
There is definitely a lot more of that kind of thing being said this year, I feel.
Yeah.
About going, well, look, unless you've got young kids, it doesn't matter. And even if you do have young kids, they were talking about it on the radio, going, they gave a load of kids a wrapped up box and they played for 45 minutes with it. Nobody's saying, well, just get them a cardboard box, but a 3-year-old kid doesn't appreciate 200 quid's worth of stuff.
But then, there is, it just depends. It also depends on the kid though, which you're not willing to accept. My 2 nephews, my sister's 2 kids, you could not have. They grew up in the same house, 2 years apart, 3 years apart. Sorry, they could not be 2 different human beings. Mason has an iPad. He's had an iPad since he was 3. Same age Kyle got one. Mason will still always, the minute you're in the house, the iPad's down, the Nerf gun's out, and he wants to shoot a Nerf gun. He will do that for hours on end. Kyle, you won't get a word out of, because he will sit on his iPad all day. So there is still just that. Don't just buy them fucking electronic stuff. Make sure you've got a fucking Nerf gun, because one of them will use it and they'll fucking enjoy hurting you.
And even if they kill the other one with it, you've got the kit spare.
So sore.
But
Do you know what he's figured out? Is see if you, like, what's that, right? Thrust, I guess would be the word. Thrust the gun forward while shooting. It creates more momentum than you'd ever imagine. It's
That kid's
fucking
smart.
He's a violent wee cunt, is what he is.
the other thing, the other thing that the whole Brexit conversation's flung up is this idea that the British Empire is something to hark back to. You know, like kind of when we were, you know, subjugating other countries.
What was the what? I think I've run this before. Bo Burnham. He's like,
You're just going to quote stand-up routines
He
that you've
used to-
seen previously.
he
Why
sings-
don't you fucking write something going fucking gig?
he sings a song. He goes,
Here, this'll save you watching Bo Burnham
No.
or buying a ticket.
but he goes, it's on Netflix. You got to watch the whole thing. But he goes, we used to have all the money in land. We still do, but it's not as fun now. It's like, we want to go back to when we owned everyone.
Aye, it's a horrible... And see when you look at people saying, you know, positive things about the Empire, going, I don't think you would have lasted at sea while we overtook India again.
I know. Do you know what I noticed as well, right? Well, I know we're going to go into my...
See if you tell me something Billy
No.
Connolly said.
And I've never...
Where would you be if you didn't have your wellies? I was only flinging in the fucking Irvin Welsh tweets to kind of go, you fucking killing
travel,
this, man.
doing this tour, which we'll talk about later, is see driving up and down the UK. There is so much space.
Aye.
And it's amazing.
Country's full. We can't take any more.
Aye,
Well,
stop.
go fucking look at that.
Aye, stop having fucking 80 million people just fucking crammed into one wee bit. It's just London's full, Birmingham's full, city centres are full. I fucking drove for 2 hours without seeing a house. It was amazing.
Aye. You're going to fucking... See if you're looking at a bit of space for fracking. Stick some hussies on that instead, eh?
Aye. Or, see all this area where there's just grass? Surely you can get farmers in, crops, actually. What is it? What's the one about for the fucking vegans? You could actually...
No, that's you putting them under an umbrella and dehumanising them.
Tory.
Vegans. But you could create crops that would like feed 4 times as many people and cost a tenth of the price by creating different types of farms, and you could alleviate this pressure of how are we going to get all the food that Tesco and that get in here if we do Brexit? Oh, you can do stuff organically, cheap. You actually can.
Porridge 3 times a day. We would love. Anyway, we are going to miss people highlighting. Unless Owen Jones lives to 110, there's very little.
He's very good though.
Aye.
Do enjoy.
I think the strength of Harry Leslie Smith was that you couldn't just write him off.
Aye, because he had the experience.
Yeah, because he really knew what he was talking about. If he loved the country so much, why did he move to Canada?
Hash.
Probably.
And he's just died before it. Well, no, he got it. They would have got it last wee bit.
Aye.
He'd have
Just
got
right at the end.
He'd have got some.
He went out the way he lived, high as fuck.
That's a genuine. I hope you get everything you want in the afterlife, Harry. Right, see when we're talking about this, you've been before, had recommended it. I went to
the afterlife.
or you want to talk about other stuff?
No, I was.
I'm just going to get the Iceland stuff out of the way because
You want to do Iceland first?
Aye,
Yes.
because it's relevant to what we were talking about there.
Okay.
See the amazing thing about going to an island that is just one country. See the attitude, like it isn't bordered with anything. You know, like kind of the way the Dutch, they've a
Flemish and a
Walloon, Belgian, Germany, France. You know, there's minor conflicts, so you can point to wars. Like I think they get taken over a couple of times with Norway. You're looking at the fucking weather and you're going, how bad is the weather in Norway that they fucking sailed that to get to this? Fucking hell.
So they don't have a Reykjavik fisherman cast like this.
Mate, so I think it'd been taken over. The initial settlers in around about 960 were Norwegian. They settled because I think they were knackered. You know, you keep going, that was windy as fuck. The Danish had a go. I think the Second World War was going on, and everybody was kind of really busy with that, and they kind of went, do you know what, we're independent now. You just go and fucking do what you want. Then they just started growing what they could, which isn't much. I think that's why the food's so expensive. A lot of it's imported.
Yeah.
A lot of greenhouses that are powered by the geothermal rocks and everything like that. But literally, they could not give a fuck about what anybody else is up to. They are too busy dealing with the wind, too busy dealing with the cold, and it fucking works. 36% the tax rate is there. Do you know how many Icelanders I heard complaining about the tax rate? Not fucking one. Because they know that if they broke their leg and then they started with third party private healthcare, they would be out in the street causing a fucking riot. The other thing about Iceland, it is roughly the same size as England and has a population of 340,000.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas England's a couple more than that. But it fucking works. You can have a society where people are happy with a lot, they work low hours, they pay high tax, they get decent wages, they can live. A couple of the people that I've seen in the street that we would class as homeless or beggars, I didn't get the full story off them, but they looked as if they were there because they just fucking really liked a drink. And they weren't asking for money, they were just going, do you know what? I fucking love cans. It was a conscious decision. Societies like that are possible without the sort of massive consumption.
However, just to play devil's advocate, is it not a case of it's very much one people? It's a very low immigration.
Well,
so it's very easy to have a culture.
Not that. Do you know what? I've seen a lot of black faces.
But I think it's like 92, 93% white.
That
doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it's really easy to have one type of way of living when everyone is of one type of way of living.
Sad as fuck, I looked this up.
He's got the stats.
They're 80% Viking.
Right, okay.
And 20% Celtic. And the 20% Celts come from the Viking raids taking slaves back to Iceland.
Okay.
Reparations. We demand reparations.
They went back. I spoke to a few of the redheads there, and they said, "Do you know what? We quite like it.
Aye.
Use their fucking hands up down there." I drive a bus for 50 grand a year.
Aye.
I pay 36% of that in tax. I've got enough money to go to the geothermal pool.
It's also the argument of if you're a small enough population, it's really easy to manage 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Because you can go, aye, we're changing the working hours. Sound? Aye, we agree. Probably do a hand raise, just in one big open place. They probably just had a question. Seeing the World Cup was on, probably just a questionnaire when you were going through Reykjavik Airport. Go, can you fill us out? Please just agree to the new government that's going in.
See, Scotland as a country, the big thing that they've got to sell, or the big thing that keeps them going, is their heating and their electric. See, with wind power, wave power, oil, we have a lot of the natural stuff there. Mm-hmm. We can fish, we can grow stuff. It was great to see a country that going, you don't think we're big, or you don't think we're good enough? That's cool. Do you know what? You can think that, America. You can think that, England. That's cool. We're alright with it. But that's your opinion. We're doing alright.
Plus they're taking in money hand over fist from Scandi dramas.
You could actually see the way the light hit everything going, man, I bet there's a murder just around the corner. Like an unsolved travesty.
So you did all the touristy things?
First time I've ever been a tourist and booked a shitload of bus tours. I thought a couple of days before, I'm just going to hire a car and do it. The car was £100 for 4 days, right?
Okay.
Pick it up at the airport, drop it off 4 days later, £100. They wanted £3,000 as a deposit.
I told you why.
Aye,
because it was like 60% of the road traffic accidents are caused by tourists.
Oh really?
Aye, and it was. I think they said it was like the really, really casual racism to go. And just to clarify, yes, it is all Asian people. We tell them all, don't hire cars. The road conditions are unbelievably difficult.
I mean, is it icy? Like that seems so stereotypical. Is it? If all the roads are icy and everything?
No, they're really.
It's just cold.
Gary, some of the pavements are under floor heating. Like they've got so much fucking energy. Like they don't need to grit the pavement. There is no grit in the
Aye,
pavement.
just less concrete to protect you from the fucking geothermal energy underneath.
It's just going to just run some hot water through that.
No,
we will not need to grit it.
Smart.
Yeah.
First day, Penis Museum because
Yes.
It's a
It's
museum.
quite fun.
Went on. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
It's just like in a wee shop, innit? You're just walking down the street and you're like, oh, this is it here.
It's like two dentists' waiting rooms
Yeah.
pushed together. You know, like with the sort of cheap
Okay.
acrylic carpet, low
Right.
ceiling with strip lighting. And it's this fella in the 1960s. He got married, and in 1974, his wife told him to get rid of all these bobbies that were hanging about. Like he'd been collecting them. I think he was an academic, and I think people keep giving them to him, going, "Oh, there was a dead seal out there." So we,
It's like when your gran get given a spoon.
aye.
Every town you went to, you go, "Oh, we
Imagine
better
those
get a
spoons
spoon."
were dead grey penises.
Yeah.
Just under 300 on display. There is an audio tour.
Okay.
So we took the audio, which he voices himself, which you can hear him reading. But I think his son now uses it. But I'm thinking about it. See, as a business model, it's fucking beautiful. Like, you're never buying new stock in. You've got the 300 penises, you might as well milk them for every new... But, do you know what I mean? The asset's there. Why you need to get as many in? We must have spent an hour and a half. There was a gift shop.
What do they sell in the gift shop?
Just your usual gift shop stuff.
Do you know what? They only had one human bobby in it.
Was this the Olympian?
No, you talking about the handball team?
Oh, they had the mould of the handball team, didn't
mould
they?
of the handball team, just all silver casts.
Imagine you've won. Was it the Olympics that got a gold medal?
Beijing 2008, they won I think a silver or a bronze.
You get a medal at the Olympics, and the first thing your government do, or this guy goes, "Can we get a mould of your dicks?"
Do you think they were do you know what? It must have been a silver medal because
Aye,
all
'cause
the
it was a
cogs
cast
were
in
silver.
silver.
I can't believe I didn't equate it.
You should have done the audio to him.
That is
Aye.
much better than the gold post boxes.
Can you imagine they had Andy Murray's
gold
phallus? Just the phallus in Dunblane High Street.
They've suffered enough.
Oh, just turn left at the Golden Cock. So we did that. Before we did that, we took John's recommendation for a place called Schwarta Kaffee, which was a soup cafe, which was hollowed out rye bread rolls with the soup put into it. You've only got two options when you get in. Do you want the veg or do you want the meat? Like that. It's Penis Museum Friday, give me the meat. I had reindeer, and my partner had leek and potato. Food was brilliant. We had a conversation very early on that morning going, let's not talk about money. Because if we look at the price of everything, but £40 for 2 bowls of soup, you're like that.
Oh, that's definitely been up.
Aye.
That was definitely like a tenner each for us. So that place has become more popular because of guys like me probably telling everyone to go.
Everybody.
Hipsters.
Mate, it's tremendous. It is unbelievable. See, because it's so cold, the soup is perfect for you to go out walking about. You're like, oh, that's nice.
But see if I bought 2 ham and cheese baguettes, like see the next day we went on a tour called the Golden Circle Tour, which is sort of around the South Island and takes in sort of 4 or 5 different things. We seen like a wee church, but I think that was essentially a toilet spot because it was still dark. It was like the sun come up at 11:15, went down at 4.
Yeah.
So if you get picked up for the tour, your first stop's 10:30, and it's just starting to get light. Gives you an excuse to get out. But then for there, we seen I think it's the second biggest waterfall called Gulfloss, which was just amazing. Just this fucking hole in the ground, and you could feel the power and the mist and everything, but it was fucking freezing.
Aye.
You know, I'd been to how much I fucking love decathlon. That's the first I've been in you've been in decathlon, mate.
I don't know.
It's a sports shop warehouse out at Braehead. It is now. It used to be out at the forts, out at Braehead, and Decathlon's a European brand, and I look at the bike stuff quite a lot on it. You know, like Dreaming, you know, the way you used to look at an Argos catalogue, going, oh, I love those gutties.
Aye.
Or the tennis rackets or something like that. Oh, a tennis racket. Decathlon is a European brand that produces cheap sport equipment with the whole aim of getting people playing sport. So you go to this warehouse at Braehead, it's fucking canoes, bikes, tennis rackets, amazing. So I'm out there for a couple of sort of base layers, thick socks, do you know what, that sort of stuff. So I got a load of stuff, and the stuff I got out of there was amazing. You know, but I only got it for my top and bottom, my trousers. So I was wearing jeans during the day, and see, when you were standing next to that waterfall, it felt as if you were wearing a pair of cold, wet leggings. Going, I've never felt wind chill like this in my life. First experience really of bus tours. Hell is other people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's at that point going, $3,000 deposit for a Cinquecento. could we stretch to that? Went from there. We seen the geysers. We seen the Parliament fields where the Vikings initially sort of held the first. I think it was the oldest Parliament in the world, the oldest sort of democracy. Okay. Once a year they met at this big site at the in between the Eurasia and North American tectonic plates. They didn't know it was the tectonic plates, but they knew that there was something special in this area. Just breathtaking. Seen the geysers.
I would always have pronounced that geysers.
I pronounce it geishas as well. So it's weird that all three of us have got different.
Hot holes in the ground, spurting water.
It's brilliant though.
Aye, it's really good.
It's like fireworks. You think you've seen one, you go, oh, fuck this, but you go, oh, that was a different one. That one was bigger.
The smell of sulphur.
Yeah.
Just really good.
You went for the wee dip?
Went to Blue Lagoon all day on Sunday. That's really good. But people, if you're thinking of going, go for as long as possible in the Blue Lagoon, like 5-6 hours. Like it is expensive, so get your money's worth.
Aye, don't get ripped off. Make sure you're there for a living.
People are doing it as a stop off on their way to the airport to return home.
Just to dip in and say I've done it.
Oh, there was these 4 girls from London. 4 black girls come in, and they came through. There was like a wee side tunnel.
Yeah.
That was roasting. That took you out, and you never had to be in the cold.
Aye.
They came down. We've been watching people all day, and there's been people in like doing snide fashion shoots. You know, like trying to get nobody in the back to get the jewellery.
Their Insta game.
Mate, so these 4 young black girls come in through the front door, which immediately exposes them to fucking freezing. They do not flinch, right? They are pro as fuck. Big hair weaves everywhere. The bikinis are pulled up almost underneath their oaksters. They've all got selfie sticks coming into the pool, and they come in and out the pool. So it's clearly
just for the photo.
It's for the billionaire Instagram story. 2 hours later, they're fucking in the canteen arguing over £12 for a baguette. I'm like, you're not Billy Big Boys anymore. You had the jewellery collection on, the high heels, fucking sauntering in. You'll not pay £12 for a chicken tikka baguette. I do not believe that story anymore. But that's well worth seeing. Went to the Northern Lights twice. Saturday night, we didn't see anything. I took a carry out.
Nice.
Ended up getting a wee bit too wild on the vodka, Fanta and Cocodamol mix. Like, see, because I was sitting in the bus all the time, my partner's got quite a few injuries and always has like a codeine Cocodamol supply. So, to see when you're sitting in a bus for hours listening to Americans, you're like, fuck it, I'll take a couple just for something today. Then I took another couple.
Story of my life.
The tour guide, we haven't seen the Northern Lights, so the tour guide starts telling stories about trolls stealing children. So we've recorded these across 2 different, phone recordings.
Right.
And the trolls will come into the child's bedroom, and if the child is not a well-behaved child, then the troll will steal it away. Then somebody sees the Northern Lights out the window. Stop! The lights are dancing! So everybody fucking piles off the bus. 3 buses, all at the side of the road. We're all fucking about in the dark. It's like a badly planned fire alarm.
Yeah.
I tap somebody in the shoulder. It's not my partner. I'm fucking honking with the drunk, and it's like the Death Eaters for Harry Potter firing it across.
Right.
So this happens. That's all we see. So everybody gets back on, but see the hysteria when people think that they're going to see it. Oh my God, the lights are dancing. Are they going to? The patter and everything around the Northern Lights is shite.
I feel like as well, it's one of those things that people will go to and try and film, when the important thing is watch it with your eyes and remember it.
Mate, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I'll tell you about that the night. So as we're getting off the bus, Sverna says, I will be reporting that we did not see the lights. Please come back for another tour. We go to the Blue Lagoon the next day. We've been in there for fucking hours. I says, listen, I've had enough been in the water. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, going, see if we can get out of here for the 7:15 bus. We can phone and get on the 8:30 Northern Lights one. Just grab a couple of supermarket sandwiches. If we can get an overdraft facility on the way down. We get dropped off at 1 and we jumped onto the next tour and went out and drove for a couple of hours out into a different location and back into the Parliament fields. As soon as we got off the bus, 25 minutes. It was amazing.
Aye.
Seen it all. There's fucking Americans with their camera flash on their iPhone.
Oh, then
Try to flash at the
did
sky.
the tour guide not address that?
Aye, they're shouting at them.
Aye, because the tour
no,
guides.
no flash, please.
That was honestly, Lace and I must have heard that about 10 times on the bus. If you're taking photos, make sure the flash is off. And I think our tour guide actually said, if I catch anyone on my bus with a flash on, your phone will be taken off you and put back in the bus. I was like, oh, okay.
It's like they've not even got the
The whole
sense
purpose,
to understand.
the whole purpose is no light pollution.
Aye.
But a flash lights up 20 metres in front of you and you're taking a photo of the fucking sky.
Aye. Mate, there was a guy put one off next to me and I could smell my retinas burning. Seeping in the pitch dark. And somebody sets off the flash for an i7 phone. You go and stick that off. And then they do it again a couple of seconds later. You're like, it's so selfish. But the tour guide we had the second night was a wee bit more school madamy. You know, it's sort of early 60s. She was quite... What you realise the second night was there's a lot of fat Americans that sit in the bus and wait for the bus to be tapped on the side when the lights start. So they're sitting in the warm, waiting on the tour guide, going, the lights are starting. But the tour guides and the drivers went mental when the display started. Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Oh, you really hit the jackpot.
Where were these tour guides from?
Eskimos, mate. I don't know what the fuck, where they were shipping them in for. Part of the, you're so lucky. And then all these Americans would shuffle off the bus. And then they'd turn their iPhone flashes on, and then they would shuffle back on the bus. And but we get two 25-minute displays out it, and then pretty much for that tour, we went to the airport for a 7 o'clock flight. We were fucked on the way back, but we're worth it. I would I go again? I think it's all middle class couples.
That's why you went.
Aye, on bucket list holidays. Like, it wouldn't have been my pick.
No.
Would you go again?
See
if I could say to you, have you been to Prague?
No.
Have you been to Berlin?
Yeah, yes.
Right, see if I could say Reykjavik or Prague, where would you go?
I've not been to Prague, so I don't know. Oh, if I was...
Would you go
I'd
to Reykjavik again,
I'd
or
want
would
to
you
go to Prague, aye.
You
I'd
go-
want to go see new places.
Aye.
But Berlin and Amsterdam are probably my only two repeat European trips.
Repeat prescriptions?
Yeah, because I'm like, yep, I like those places. I know what I'm getting.
I think you'd love Iceland, Gary.
Yeah,
However-
I think it's my kind of place.
However, I really like the Harper Theatre.
Yep.
So, see, I know Ricky Gervais does stand up and he's done it there every tour. So, see if he was doing it and it
I thought you were going to
What does
start
he
quoting
say?
a bit of
What does he say?
material.
So if he was doing it and it was, see, because I never quite got the best. We got okay Northern Lights, but not anything great.
Mm-hmm.
So if he happened to be doing it over winter and I could get a decent deal, I would go back and I'd go, I'm going to go and see Ricky Gervais. I'm going to go every night till I get a fucking good Northern Lights tour.
Aye.
But that would be the only thing I was missing. Everything else we did was excellent and it wouldn't be worth doing again. So I was like, that was pretty good.
See, all the things worth seeing are natural.
Yeah.
You'd go somewhere else for food, you'd go somewhere else for culture,
And-
you'd go somewhere else for boozing. But some of the stuff that they've got and that they've preserved and they look after, and they are selling it, but they're not kicking the arse at it. Like, see when you go to the Blue Lagoon, it's 200 guys, 200 women. That's all that's getting in.
See, on that though, I think there's things in this country that are not told enough of. Like the fact you can fucking see the Northern Lights from a lot of Scotland if it's strong enough is unbelievable.
See even coming in the flight and you look at the colour of the green in the hills, you're going, this is actually better looking than Iceland. You know, with the moisture, the temperature. Like, we do not punt this enough.
Yeah, because what's the meteor shower called that happens at once a year?
Is that the Haley Bolt?
The Perseids or something? Perseids?
Oh, right, okay.
Right in if you know that.
But that was 2 years ago, and it was we were literally just watching the weather before we went into work, and it was like, the meteor showers tonight will be visible between 2 and 6 a.m. And I was going, but what is that? And I was like, I think I said to Lacey at the time, I was like, do you want to go drive up to Loch Lomond and just find a pure fucking hill?
A dark spot.
Go up a hill, just a dark spot, and go look. Went and looked. It's like fucking fireworks in the sky.
Yeah.
You see meteors coming into the atmosphere and exploding. Like the first couple of times we looked and we went, nah, I think I seen something. Nah, it was maybe just calling them eye. And then we finally seen one and we went, holy fucking shit, that was like a firework. And nobody's ever sat me down and go, do you want to see something really cool? Do you want to see meteor rocks come into the Earth's atmosphere and just explode because it can't contain?
Aye.
I was like, and then I seen pictures of Loch Lomond, Duck Bay Marina, of the Northern Lights one night, and I was like, oh my fucking god, that is 30 minutes for here.
See, but I don't appreciate that because I come from there. So.
But honestly, the guy had put up photos of Duck Bay Marina and videos, and I was going, that's unbelievable.
Aye.
I thought I had to literally go in Norway or Iceland to see all that.
A good place, I don't think you can, probably can't get the Northern Lights there, but see the Dart Park in Dumfries?
Yeah.
It's NASA and the European.
They sell it as that.
Oh, do they? Can you?
But certain times
You need a good wind, a good atmosphere. For the people listening, the next 3 or 4 months, you can download an app that will tell you where the cloud will come over and where you can see the lights too.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's things, it's brilliant.
See the photos I showed you?
Yeah.
That's 33% chance of seeing them. So you take your chances.
Yeah.
I'll show you that, but you can, on that app, you can go Dumfries, Creebridge, Dumfries Sky Park, and that will update you saying you've got a chance of seeing them there tonight. What was the other thing? See if you're going to go a couple of cracking things. Buy good trousers. Good tops are instinct. You know, you'll have them already. You can keep putting layers on, but buy a good pair of trousers. There's also an app called App Hour. If you are going for a booze, you can just flick this app on and it'll tell you where the cheapest beers are.
Nice.
I think I was sort of 5-6 quid a Guinness. It wasn't a nightmare. But if you're buying a small strawberry wine in the Blue Lagoon, I think you were 13, 14 quid.
Yeah.
But you know,
but you're limited to 3 drinks each, so you're like, I can deal with that.
Hi, this is Gary. You have reached the end of the first part of this episode. There is a second part to come. We had so much to talk about with Chris going to Iceland and John doing his tour that we've had to split it in 2. If you're listening to this the week it's come out, the second part will be available at the weekend. If it's older than that, then you should already have it. It should be 98B. So we'll see you at the start of that one.